Hello and welcome to my new channel. My name is Ben. So I'm gonna talk some basketball. I made this channel for two reasons. One, because I love basketball. Two, I need to get better at speaking. So what better way to do it than to put myself out on the internet, talk some hoops. Thank you for being here. I got a wonky setup going on behind the camera right now. So yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. So I guess getting into things, first I'm gonna talk about some of last night's games in the NBA. In-season tournament, how are we feeling? Me personally, I enjoy the games. I think it's more of a playoff atmosphere and it brings back some of the regular season, more of that grit, you know? I think in the future it can be done better. I think I saw Isaac from a D3 podcast talk about doing divisions instead, bring back the importance of divisions. I honestly think that's a great idea, but you know, we're gonna take what I can for the time being. Clippers defeat the Mavericks 133-127, double overtime game. Clippers improved to 4-8, Mavericks fall to 3-10. Both these teams really struggling this season, dealing with injuries. I have it written down here. Clippers average age 33 years old. They're starting 11 rotational players. I wrote down UNC squad because I can't really think of any other way to put it. I think they're a little bit past their time frame when it comes to lifespan in the NBA. Harden's holding it down, but you know, Kawhi just showing signs of age, clearly not in his prime anymore. You got guys like Chris Paul, Nick Batum. I don't even know why they're in the game at this point. Chris Paul did not play last night. Positive side for the Mavericks, even though you didn't win the game, Nico Harrison is gone. That is a big plus for Mavericks fans. Prayers up to y'all. I really do think the Mavericks have more to build on. Flag, Lively, Christie, have those three written down. You still got young pieces. You probably got a few good years left of Anthony Davis if he can stay healthy. Obviously, that's a question mark, but for the most part, I think he can be a great playoff contributor. And then I think the biggest question mark with them right now is Kyrie Irving. What does that timetable look like? But I'm gonna leave it with this for those two teams. It's probably time to shut it down for the season. Especially in a stacked Western Conference, I just don't see either of those teams really making noise in the playoffs. Moving on, Bucks defeat the Hornets in overtime, 147-134. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25, 18 assists, 7 rebounds. Kyle Kuzma, 29, 10, 5. Miles Bridges, Con Knuppel, each scored 32 points. And my pick for this year's most improved player, Ryan Rollins, 28-4. I think Ryan Rollins has been really, really good. He's been a huge addition for the Bucks. Getting rid of Damian Lillard, moving him up into the rotation, and with Kevin Porter Jr. now being out, I think he's really found himself a home in Milwaukee. I love the way he plays defense. And on the other side, Charlotte Hornets, for once it feels like they're actually building something. If LaMelo Ball can stay healthy, I think you got pieces with Con Knuppel actually showing signs of being possible Rookie of the Year. We shall see on that. Brandon Miller, if he can stay healthy, really has all the tools to become a serviceable NBA player. I'm not going to say all-star potential, but I do think that he could be a Dylan Brooks-esque contributor on a winning team. Warriors beat the Spurs 109-108. Warriors improved to 8-6. Are we seeing a second life in Steph Curry? 49 points, leaves Under Armour, throws on the Kobe's, channels his inner Kobe. 49 points over Wemby as the Spurs fall to 8-4. Are we kind of seeing a second life out of Curry? I feel like the last couple of years we've seen a lot of ups, but also a lot of downs. Obviously, I'm holding him to a higher bar. I think Curry's been really good in just showing the timelessness in the way he plays. I could see him doing this for another 3 to 4 years. Honestly, he's a special player to watch. Wemby 26, 12, and 4. Fox 24, 10, and 4. Good to see De'Aaron Fox back on the court. Interesting conversation to have. Is Wemby now out of the MVP conversation? Obviously, Jokic has had a huge week. Just put up one of the most efficient stat lines, I think, of all time. He put up like 56-point triple-double. Just unreal the way that Jokic can see the court. So I do think that Wemby has a year or two until he's legitimately in the MVP combo. But yeah, a lot of exciting things coming out of San Antonio. Next thing I want to talk about, my first direct point that I'm going to be making on this channel. Memphis, we have a problem, and that is in the name of Ja Morant. Grizzlies are currently 4-9, 12th in the Western Conference. Ja Morant is averaging 19, 8, 4, 4 turnovers, shooting 35% from the field and 17% from three. Clearly, he cannot find a shot. He's got to get things going. And it's kind of led to a snowball effect on the entire team because, you know, he's getting paid the most. He's their cornerstone for their franchise. I watched some raw film. I went back to kind of see what is actually going on in Memphis. And when you watch, he's super prominent in pick and roll actions. That's kind of how he creates. That's how he creates his own shot and shots for others. What I really saw is defenses are collapsing. They're going under the screen, kind of hogging the paint a little bit on those pick and roll actions and forcing Ja to shoot deep twos, settle for threes. And when the shots aren't falling, and especially when his teammates aren't hitting either, they're 26th in the league in three-point percentage as a unit. I think there's a problem in Memphis, and in all honesty, I would not be surprised if Ja Morant was out of Memphis by the end of the year or at the trade deadline. It does bring up a question: what does his value look like in the trade market? Are teams really looking for a player like Ja Morant? For me, I'm not going to speculate because I don't know what the GMs are doing behind the scenes. But me personally, I could see him going to an Eastern Conference team. I could see an Eastern Conference team wanting him as it's way more open in the East. And I think in a saturated Western Conference, there's just not a whole lot of desire for Ja Morant. And it doesn't help that Zach Edey, Brandon Clark, Ty Jerome, Scottie Pippen haven't even seen the court yet this season, 13 games into the year. I could kind of see this end up just being a rebuild year for Memphis. It is unfortunate because just 3 years ago, it kind of seemed like they were the young blooming team, really ready to make a splash in the playoffs. But anyways, get well soon, Ja. We obviously had the scuffle last week where he was suspended for a game for getting too aggressive with his coach. I think there's just a bad chemistry issue going on in Memphis right now, and you know, they're gonna have to figure that out. But moving on, contenders or pretenders. I took the 10 teams with the highest odds in the NBA for winning the championship this year. I'm going to go team by team. Let you know if I think they're a contender or that they're a pretender. I'm kind of going to go 1 through 5 pretty quick. OKC, Denver, Cleveland, New York, Houston. I think they're all contenders. OKC, it's a pretty obvious one. Defense just looks so good. They're so deep. They're really just on cruise control most of the season, and it really looks like they are the favorite. But my personal favorite is the Denver Nuggets. I think adding Cam Johnson, even though he's been off to a slow start this year, I think that they've really filled out that roster. Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway, another year of Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon looking like damn near an all-star, and obviously Nikola Jokic looking like Nikola Jokic. Cleveland. You're going to learn this about me. I live in downtown Cleveland. I'm a Cavs fan. I grew up a Cavs fan. So I'm going to be a little home bias on this, but I think Cleveland does have the tools to go deep in the playoffs, and I think they're kind of pacing themselves this season. You're seeing some struggles, definitely shooting, some struggles defensively, but DG being in and out of the rotation kind of hurts them. I do want to see more from Mobley before I'm really sold on them being a legitimate championship contender, but I will throw them in the contender spot. New York, Brunson did get banged up a couple days ago. I think they're good. They also did similar to what the Nuggets did, filling out their roster. Additions of Yabusele, Clarkson. I think they have a more whole team, and I think Mike Brown is doing more rotational wise to kind of get them through the season without getting banged up. So they're pretty solid over in New York. Houston Rockets, number 1 in the NBA in three-point percentage. Tall lineup. It doesn't make sense, but having KD, another year of Amen Thompson, I think they got a lot of pieces over there. I really like Jabari Smith Jr. I think he's a good, running small forward at almost 7 feet tall is just kind of unreal. Number 6, Golden State Warriors. That is going to be my first pretender. I do not buy into the recency. They get really hot at times. Anytime you have Steph Curry on your team, you got a chance of winning a game. But I do think the roster overall just does not, I don't think Pajemski is a starting shooting guard on a championship team. The addition of Al Horford this season did not fit as well as I thought he would. When you look back at all of the Warriors' success, it's always been with non-ball dominant, non-shooting, rebounding only centers. I don't think Horford is fit in there at all. Number 7, Lakers. I'm gonna slap the pretender on them. I don't think they're gonna have enough time to build chemistry once LeBron is healthy with Luka and Austin Reeves. And I also think their rotational pieces are just abysmal. I don't think Gabe Vincent, I don't think Jared Vanderbilt, I don't think those guys are true contributors on a championship team. I think Marcus Smart's a little past his prime. I think they're kind of replicating what the Lakers do a lot. I don't see it playing out. I could see them losing first or second round, definitely in the playoffs. Number 8, Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm gonna slap contender on them simply because of Anthony Edwards. He can do damage in the playoffs, and realistically what I see is Western Conference Finals for them. I think that's their ceiling, but at the same time, you never know with injuries and how everything plays out. I think that Minnesota is a legitimate contender. A little rocky start to the season, but I feel like they do that every year. I like the experience on their team a lot, so I think they have a legitimate chance. Number 9, Los Angeles Clippers, Orlando Magic. I believe these odds are from the start of the season, so it's not going to be adjusted towards how they're doing 13, 14, 15 games into the season. I have them both as pretenders. I think the Magic, they need more time as a group. They're really struggling as of recent. They just beat the Nets last night in like the last couple minutes of the game. They're really struggling, and the Clippers, as we discussed earlier, just are not showing signs at all of being contenders. I think they're past their time frame as a franchise. Number 10, Philadelphia 76ers. I think the same thing with them as I said about the Magic. I think they need more time together, and there's a lot of pieces constantly moving around with that team. Joel Embiid being on minutes restriction, although he has looked very good. Tyrese Maxey damn near putting himself in MVP candidate talks. Tyrese Maxey's been balling, but I just still don't think it's enough as a unit. I think they need more time with Jared McCain being back and healthy. I think they need more time with VJ Edgecombe. I think they got to get rid of Paul George. I think there's too many moving parts to make a cohesive unit to go to the NBA Finals. Interesting, I actually went outside of the top 10. Number 11, San Antonio. I'm going to slap contender on them. I think when Wemby is on the court, it can just affect the game in so many ways. Defensively and offensively when he gets hot. I love Fox being back. I love Stephon Castle. I love Devin Vassell. They got a lot of pieces, offensive firepower, and a deeper rotation this season than they did last season. So I'm going to slap contender on them. Number 12, Detroit Pistons. I'm also going to slap contender on them. They are number 1 in the East right now. Cade Cunningham clearly cemented himself as a franchise cornerstone for Detroit. He's been balling this year, and I really love what they're doing out there. I think they're really bringing back the bad boy Pistons era with Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, even Thompson, just his freak athleticism. I think defensively as a unit, I want to see Ivy get back into the mix of things. I think they got a lot of good things going for them, so I am going to slap contender on them. Although, if I had to put my money on it, I would say Eastern Conference Finals is probably their ceiling. And then interesting, Milwaukee at 14. You guys will also figure this out. My second favorite team is the Milwaukee Bucks, and kind of biased towards them, but I am going to slap pretender on them because I do not think they're fully equipped to win an NBA Finals. But having Giannis on your team, they've looked pretty good. They got a lot of 3-and-Ds to surround Giannis, so I think they're moving in the right direction. And I think moving off of Damian Lillard is not as bad of an idea as people originally thought. I like what they got going on in there, like what I said about with Ryan Rollins. I like Miles Turner addition. We shall see with Milwaukee. I think their time isn't now, but I think they don't have to completely blow it up. Moving on to my last and final section, shout out to Cade Cunningham. Last Sunday versus the Wizards, posted 46 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists on 14 of 45 field goals. Most missed shots in the NBA since the NBA-ABA merger. straight chucking, love of the game. Just, you love to see it. And that's pretty much all I have for this first video. Bear with me, be patient. I got a lot of ideas, things I want to work on. Everything's gonna improve over time, so just leave in the comments. If you made it this far, thank you. Leave in the comments if you have any ideas for things I could do in the future. Thank you for sticking around. Appreciate y'all. Goodbye.